My name is Mark Chambers. I am an architect. I am the sustainability manager for the DC Department of General Services, and I often describe myself as someone who is fighting climate change but simultaneously cross-training for the apocalypse. I love apples. I think that as far as delicious things go, Pink Lady in season is right up there at the top of my list. About 5 years ago, I started eating apples whole. Now, what I mean by that is that when I start biting into an apple, I don't stop until it's all gone, or maybe just a stem. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it. But what I've learned through this process of free eating the apple, I like to call it free eating the apple, is that when you're not trying to circumnavigate around the core, well, the core stops being this sticky, seedy demon 30% of the apple, but instead it just becomes part of the overall flavorful and textural and natural experience. But lately, I've had to think about it and kind of confront the fact that, well, I've been lied to about apple cores my whole life. I mean, we all have. And what makes it worse is that from the very first times that we held a completely edible apple core by the stem over the trash in mom and dad's kitchen or at a picnic or barbecue or in a lunchroom, we became complicit in a much, much bigger lie. That it was okay for us to just let it go and create waste when it wasn't. See, our relationship with trash is the lie, and we know it is. It's like when we throw things away, it's like this awkward breakup where we all still live in the same city and you hope you don't run into each other at the grocery store. And like each day that passes without this bitter reunion with the things we've thrown away, it makes it easier for us to forget that we have these unresolved feelings. And we should have unresolved feelings, because that feeling is guilt. It's relationship guilt. And I mean, when you think about it, it's like you kind of want to know what happens to the things you threw away, and you kind of don't. Like, if we had the option, you would just Facebook stalk that waste from a distance. But the awkwardness has to deal with us being able to think about those 1,500 pounds of waste that we create each year. And dealing with that is something that we internalize, and we have to figure out how to deal with it. So instead of dealing with any awkwardness, we created a lie, and we called that lie away. Just throw it away. You're not finished with that Chipotle burrito bowl? No problem, throw it away. You got the packing peanuts from that Hello Kitty clock you bought on eBay? Throw it away. How about the orange netting that comes when you buy like those 37 mini oranges? And away became magical. Away became this black hole nexus where trash just evaporates. Away became awesome. But away is also an illusion. That away doesn't exist. And I'm here because we need to stop talking about it like it does. We need to stop verbally distancing ourselves from the wake of the waste that we create if people like me are ever going to be able to help develop solutions to it. We need to acknowledge that words matter, and we need to once and for all throw away. Just stop saying it, and we should probably tell our kids to stop saying it too. We need to be comfortable with the truth. And the truth is, for many of you here, that something that you had that you don't want or don't need anymore, it's probably going to go 20 miles up to White Marsh, to the Eastern Sanitary Landfill, where it will sit with millions of metric tons of its friends. In that case, only about 200 or 300 yards from the Bird and Gunpowder Rivers, both tidal wetlands for the Chesapeake Bay, our Chesapeake Bay. I mean, that's just one of 22 landfills in Maryland, 22 of 130 landfills in the Northeast, 130 of over 1,900 landfills across the United States, not to mention the thousands beyond our borders and the oceans in between. Now, that doesn't roll off the tongue as easily as throw it away, but it's the truth. And we have to become comfortable with the truth. We have to be able to acknowledge it, and we have to be able to talk about it. Now, I'm not naive, and I don't want you to leave here thinking that, I think that simply with wordplay or semantics, we can all of a sudden cool a warming planet, or that we will somehow be able to unmake 75 years of plastics and polymers. We can't do that. But if we're honest, and if we start to think about everything from the apple cores forward, then I believe, and I'm not 100% certain, but I believe that we can start to peel back the layers of the lie. And if we can do that, then, and only then, can we free eat our way to a place where we can have an open and honest conversation about how we honor our role as stewards of an abundant, fruitful, and waste-free future. Thank you.